Hello there, wonderful students. Welcome to Educate. Today we're doing linear transformations. So for the following linear transformation, we've got two questions here. So we've got the first one whereby it says for the following linear transformation given by T from R2 to R3, write down the matrix representation of T. Similarly, we're going to do the same thing for matrix number 2. So now how do we find the matrix that is corresponding to a transformation? So basically remember that you can transform a vector, you can transform a vector X, and then you transform it using a matrix by multiplying it with the matrix, right? You see something like this, you still remember that when we multiplied a matrix A with a vector X, we were able to get a vector B, right? Right, that's what we did before. So basically the transformation function for this is just T of X. So it means that we are transforming the vector X, or we are changing the vector X by doing what to it? By multiplying it with A. All right. So here we just want to see which matrix for this particular example, because we are given a transformation x1, x2, and then we are having this. So we are asking ourselves here, which matrix must we multiply this vector x1, x2 so that we can transform it from R2 to R3? From R2 to R3 simply means that is first of all, it had two entries. There was a column vector having two entries, which is r to the power of 2, right? Two entries, x1 and x2, and then to being a column vector having three entries, which is this first one, the second one, and the third one. All right, so is more like the number of rows that we're having in this column. So now, how do we now find that matrix? So we are just simply going to take this part and we're going to break it down into the vector. So this part that is given by 2x1 minus x2, and then this is x1 plus x2, and then this is minus x1 minus 3x2. All right, so what is this actually? This is the resultant vector that we get when we transform this vector from R2 to R3. So we are transforming its dimensions. Okay, it's a linear transformation that we're doing. So now here, what do we want to aim to get here? We just want to express this term in form of a matrix times this vector, which is x1 and x2. So we just need to use our algebra skills here and our prior knowledge on matrix multiplication. So we just need a matrix A that will be multiplied to the vector x1, x2, the one that has been transformed. Because remember that the transformation function for the vector x corresponding to a matrix A must be given by A times that vector x. So similarly here, it must be a matrix A, which is the one that we are looking for, right? So now let's just try to solve that matrix representation of the transformation. So now here, I will open a bigger matrix so that you can have time to see. And then here I will put my vector, which is x1 and x2, the one that we are transforming. So we can see one thing here, that we are only having x1 and x2, right? X1 and x2. So it means that we can only have two columns in that particular matrix. All right, we can only have two columns. Remember that for matrix multiplication to be defined, the number of columns of the first matrix, the number of columns must be equal to the number of rows. So in this case here, we are having two rows in this vector matrix. So it means that we must have two columns in this one so that the matrix multiplication can be defined. We need to revisit your first year, because at first year level, I remember teaching and I said that for you to be able to have a product of two matrices that is defined, the number of columns of the first matrix must be equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. In this case, we know that the second matrix must be the vector x1, x2. It must be this vector x, right? And this vector is having two rows in total. It's 1, 2 rows and 1 column, right? So the number of rows of this matrix is 2. So it means that it must correspond to the number of columns in the matrix A. So now we just need to fill in the entries and try to see, can we be able to get them? In this case, we are having positive 2, right? So the first one is positive 2. That's the entry. So it's positive 2. The next one is positive 1. I'm sure these ones are corresponding to the variable x1, right? So the next one is positive 1, and then the last one is negative x1. So that's going to be negative 1 times x1. So basically it simply means that this column here, it belongs to x1. I'm actually going to multiply it with x1. You will see when we do matrix multiplication that it will still give you the same thing. So this column here, it consists of the coefficients that are multiplied to the variable x1 of the vector x. Okay, so here that's just what you're gonna do for this one. We also have got x2 as well. So x2 is this one. This is x2 is negative 1 x2. This is positive 1 x2. This is negative 3 x2. So I'm just going to write these as the coefficients of x2. The first one in the first row, the first coefficient is negative 1 x2. The next one is positive 1 x2. So I won't write the positive per se, but this is going to be positive 1 x2. Positive 1 x2, and then the third one is negative 3 x2. So you are just done just by doing this. So here, this is the matrix. This is the matrix representation of the transformation. So it simply means that here, for me to be able to transform x1, x2, okay, for me to be able to transform this x1, x2 to having 3 dimensions, I have multiplied with this particular matrix. So this is the matrix that is corresponding to the linear transformation given by this. Okay, if you do matrix multiplication here, this is going to be 2 times x1, which is 2x1, and this is going to be negative 1 times x2 is negative x2. So you can see that this is if you reverse the process and do matrix multiplication again, it must be able to get you back to the same thing. But the idea here is whenever you are transforming a vector from a certain dimension to another, for example here, you are transforming it from having two rows in this column. Okay, it's a column vector, so it's having 2 entries, right? It was having x1 and x2 as the 2 entries. You are transforming it, you are making it to have 3 of them, which is this one, and this one. So you're transforming it. So as you are transforming it, you are using a certain matrix, or you are actually multiplying the vector x1 and x2 using a matrix A. So you just need to solve the matrix A. That will be multiplied to the vector x1 and x2, the one that we are transforming, right? And then using that trick, you just need to recognize that you are having x1 and x2. We're having 2 entries in this vector. So it simply means that we must have 2 columns. Each column is for each coefficient. For x1, it will be the first column. For x2, it will be the second column. Right, so for x1, the column here, it will consist of the coefficients that are multiplied to x1 in this mixed equation. Right, so this is going to be 2, this is going to be positive 1, there is positive 1 here, this is going to be negative 1. So 2, 1, negative 1. These are the coefficients for what? For the x1. And then these are the coefficients for x2. If you do matrix multiplication again, it gets you back to the original one. So this is the matrix representation of T, or this is the matrix that is corresponding to the value of T. Let's do the second question to try and see do we understand or not. So let's consider the following linear transformation. So it's a linear transformation, so it holds all the conditions of linear transformation. It preserves vector addition, it preserves scalar multiplication, all right? And then this particular transformation, it is moving from R3 to R3. So this is from R3 to R3. What does R3 to R3 suggest to you? It means that we are not changing the number of dimensions. We're not actually transforming in a context of changing the number of dimensions. You can see this evidently in this transformation function S. Okay, we are transforming the vector x, y, z into x plus y, y plus z, and x minus z. Do you realize that we still have got the same number of dimensions, or same number of rows and columns? Okay, because for this one, the first vector is a column vector having 3 entries. Even the resultant of the transformation, it's a column vector having 3 entries. It's just that the entries are now different, or the entries have been changed, but the transformation is from R3 to R3, right? So determine the matrix representation of S. We want to determine which matrix did we multiply to this vector x, y, z, so that we ended up having something like this. That's the whole purpose of transforming. Whenever we are transforming a vector, it simply means that we are multiplying it with a matrix. Right, we multiply a column vector with a matrix A, so that we can get this as the outcome. So in this case, we are transforming XYZ, meaning that we are going to multiply it with the matrix A so that we get this. So in just simple notation, we are trying to say here that we are taking the vector and we are multiplying it by X. Okay, so we are multiplying into A by matrix A. So the transformation S, okay, we are transforming this vector, right? We are transforming vector X, which is given by XYZ, and we are transforming it by doing what? By multiplying with matrix A. So let's just do that, exactly that. So here it means that for me to be able to find the corresponding matrix, I must be able to rewrite this X plus Y, this is X plus Y, this is Y plus Z, and then this is X minus Z. So I must be able to rewrite this as a matrix A, right, multiplied by the vector X. The vector X is the vector that we are transforming, guys. Don't lose here. The vector X is the vector that we are transforming, which is XYZ. Entries XYZ is an R3 vector, it's a column vector having 3 real numbers X, Y, and Z. So we are going to say that here we are trying to express this transformation as a matrix A times the vector X, Y, Z. That's what we are trying to do. Alright, and from here we just need to try and recognize how can we be able to solve for A using the similar technique as in the previous example. So now we are going to say this is the space for our matrix A, right? And then we are multiplying it to the column vector X, Y, Z. So this is our column vector X, Y, Z. So now we just need to recognize the coefficients. How many variables do we have in our column vector? We are having 3 variables. Look at this. We're having 1, 2, 3 variables. So we're having three entries in our column vector. So if we're having 3 entries in our column vector or 3 rows in our column vector, simply means that the first matrix here, it must have 3 columns. Okay, remember that for matrix multiplication to be defined, the number of columns of the first matrix must be equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. So here, since we're having the second matrix is having 3 rows X, Y, and Z, it simply means that matrix A, this matrix A, it must have 3 columns, 1, 2, 3. Please go ahead and review once again how matrix multiplication works so that you don't get lost here. I'm trying to say here, we are having the entries X, Y, Z. So there are 3 entries. So having 3 entries in our vector, it simply means that the matrix A must be able to have 3 columns, each column representing the coefficients of each entry. All right, let's just try that. So let's just say this one is the column for X. This is the column for Y. This is the column for Z. So under the columns of X, for X, I'm going to write all the coefficients of X. All right. And if I look at the first equation here, the first equation that I have is X plus Y. The first equation for the transformation is X plus Y. So from this equation, I can realize, or I can notice that here, I'm having this X multiplied to 1. So the coefficient for X for the first row is 1. And then what else do I have for the first row? I've got Y that is multiplied by 1. So under Y, I can put 1. Do I have Z in the first equation? No, this is just X plus Y. We only have 1X plus 1Y. There is no Z. So essentially, the coefficient of Z for the first row is 0. So we are done with the first row. If you do matrix multiplication, it must be able to give you that exactly back again. Let's do it again for the second row. The second row is saying Y plus Z. So it's Y plus Z. So having the second row Y plus Z, we need to recognize the coefficients that we're having here. Starting from X, do we have the coefficient of X in row 2? No. So it means that the coefficient of X is 0 for row 2. Do we have the coefficient of Y for row 2? Yes, we do have it because we're having Y here. This is Y. It's 1Y, okay? There's 1Y. Like the coefficient is 1. You can see that, right? So this is going to be 1Y. And then for the Z part, do we have the coefficient for Z? Yes, there is 1Z there. So this is 1Z. And then we will proceed and we go to the last row, which is this one, X minus Z. So with X minus Z. Do we have the coefficient for X? Yes, we do have the coefficient for x. It is 1 here. So this is 1. Do we have the coefficient for y? No, there's no y here. This is x minus z. So where would you just take y from the clouds or something like that? No, this is just x minus z. So this is 0. And then what about the z part? Yes, we do have a coefficient for z. And in this case, this is minus z. So this is negative z. So this is negative 1 as the coefficient. So this is the matrix that is corresponding to the transformation of xyz into x plus y, y plus z, x minus z. So we're doing some linear transformation. But in this particular linear transformation, we can see that the dimensions R3 are still remaining the same. R3 to R3. We are not changing the dimensions, as in like we are not changing the number of entries that we're having. We had 1, 2, 3 entries. We still have got 1, 2, 3 entries. Or the number of rows are not changing. But we are transforming it by multiplying it to this matrix 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, negative 1. And there is some geometric interpretation if you just want to see what does this matrix do to the vector. But essentially here, this is the matrix representation of the transformation S. Thank you so much for watching this video, wonderful students. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to also stay tuned.